Good afternoon. Nandito na ba presenters natin for today?
Yes, ma'am. Nandito na po. Start na po ba kami, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Okay po, ma'am. Wait lang po, ma'am. Wait. Eto, te, okay na. Wait lang po. Okay po. Okay na po ba? Naririnig po ako.
Loud and clear.
Yes po. Ah, okay po. So, good afternoon po, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. So, we are group 2 and we are going to report on how to teach melody. So, bago po ako magpatuloy sa aking topic, nais ko muna po ipakilala ang aking sarili. So, I am Wendelin Reyes, the first reporter of this group. So, I am going to tackle about objectives on how to teach melody. So, uh, before I start the topic, I will let you to hear wonderful music so that you have the idea of what our report is. So, pakinggan niyo muna po yung music na i-play ko po. Wait lang po. Naririnig niyo po ba? Naririnig po ba?
Yes po.
Think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
So, narinig niyo po yung pinlay ko pong music. So, narinig niyo po ba?
Yes.
Yes po.
Okay po. Ang title po ng music na yan is A Million Dreams. So, ayan po yung example ng music na may melody. So, later on, ipapaliwanag ko kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng melody. So, bago po ako magtungo sa melody, nais ko po munang dumako tayo sa objectives. Ayun muna po yung una ko ipapaliwanag. So, the next po. Okay po. So, objectives, consideration when applied when teaching melody. So, in other words, it is considering all of the aspects when teaching melody. You can use music lesson plan to take down notes, whatever needed to teach. So, number 2 is approaching the example of melody. In other words, so this is the giving the students appropriate example of activity in the topic. So, makikita po natin sa wait lang po. So, makikita po natin na dyan sa baba ng objectives, may picture po dyan. Ayan po yung example ng melody. So, nakapalaw dyan sa melody na yan. Yung rhythm and pitch po. So, kung ngayon po, ipapaliwanag po kung ano po yung sa picture na yan. Ano po? Thank you po. So, what is melody? So, a melody is also shown a melody is also voice or line. It is a linear section of musical tone that the listener perceives as a single entity. It is more literal than a melody is a combination of pitch and rhythm, while figuratively the term includes other musical elements such as tone and color. So, a However, for melody guitar, it is probably using alone with the favorite song na pinapapalala ng medyo ang melody siya kasi kumbaga hindi mo yung pagkakaroon na picture sa lang kayo nila. So, melody ka, ang kailangan ka para usually together by listeners TikTok music also. But what's happening? So, melody ka continuous also, over pitch, high and low around. And the song and social around. Also, rhythm, yung mga pinapalaban na nalalaman ng melody. So, also, melody, isa ang arena na over pitch and rhythm. So, what it is rhythm, another cheat rhythm, and another cheat rhythm. So, generally, the melody pitch and rhythm. So, for the example of melody, the song of Happy Birthday, alam mo yung mga Happy Birthday, kasi lahat naman ako ng Happy Birthday. So, ayun yung nakapalala na example ko, dahil sa kanya melody. So, kasi ang Happy Birthday ko, yung melody dapat magmamang festival, dapat what if, kung kakakilala siya na isang sila lang, and wala siyang rhythm. So, ano yung magiging narinig na Happy Birthday? Then, kakakalimutan lang natin na walang yung sila at wala siyang rhythm. At hindi lang natin natin pero nakakanta ko ako pero hindi ko ako mga patay ko. So, at yung Happy Birthday na walang rhythm at kakalimutan lang ko yung sila. So, ang tanong ko na is, Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So, parang kung siyang robot, parang kung yung tunog na parang ako siyang robot, parang isa lang yung pitch niya. So, yun naman natin, yun naman natin siyang robot yun, ng rhythm. So, tignan natin kung ano magiging tunog na, ang nilagyan naman natin ng rhythm. So, ito na po yung magtunog na. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. May mahaba po siya sa dulo kasi ang lyrics niya is short and long. Sound. So, mahaba po siya sa dulo. So, medyo nagkakaroon na po siya ng konting nagkakaroon na po siya ng konting tono. Kesa po dun sa una, yung walang rhythm, para po siyang robot. Pinutunog niya para po siyang robot. Kasi wala pa po siyang rhythm. So, meron na siyang rhythm. Parang nagkakaroon na po siya ng konting tono. So, ngayon, lalagyan naman po natin siya ng dalawa ng pitch. Tapos, magkasama ng rhythm. So, ang magiging tunog naman niya ngayon is magiging maganda na. So, ang tunog niya ngayon is yung parang normal na nakata na Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Ayun na po yung magiging tunog na. Kumbaga po, yung melody po is parang winobot po talaga siya ng pitch at saka ng rhythm. Parang ang siyahanin tulad po na is yung speaker po. Diba po, yung speaker po is wala po siyang bass at saka echo. Ang pangit po ng tunog niya, para po siyang sira-plaka na alam mo yung wala po sa tono, kahit yung sound po is maganda yung sound. Kapag wala po siyang bass at saka echo, ang pangit po ng tunog, para po siyang sira-plaka. Ganun din po yung melody. Kapag wala po siyang rhythm at saka pitch, ang pangit din po ng tunog na para po robot. Kaya po kapag nag-sound po kayo sa speaker, tapos may halo na po echo at saka bass, di ba po parang ang chill po niya pakinggan kasi buong-buo po yung tono at saka ang ganda po ng melody niya, yung talagang napapasabay kasi parang nalululabay, gano'n. So, ayun po yung melody. Sabi ko naiintindihan nyo. So, proceed naman po tayo sa setting goals. So, setting goals. In teaching melody, it is important to set a goal in teaching. However, teachers should be flexible at us facing the student expectation to the point that you have. So, dito naman po sa setting goals, sinasabi ko dito na importante po na kapag magtuturo tayo sa mga estudyante, kailangan lagi tayong mag-set ng goals. Like, kapag nagtuturo tayo ng melody sa mga estudyante, kailangan nakapokus lang tayo dun sa iisang gawain o iisang tinuturo lang natin para yung mga estudyante natin, hindi sila malito. Like, tapos dapat mas handa tayo sa pagiging flexible at saka multitasking natin. Lalo na kapag yung mga estudyante kasi natin minsan, di ba, meron tayong mga estudyante na minsan mas gusto nila yung malawak na paliwanag bago nila maintindihan. Kasi, di ba, hindi naman lahat ng estudyante, hindi naman po lahat ng estudyante is mabilis sila makaintindi ng mga tinuturo ng teacher. Diba, kailangan pa ng malawak na paliwanagan. So, kailangan natin talagang maging flexible o kaya maging multitasking pagdating sa pagtuturo. Kailangan natin siyang palawakin para yung mga estudyante natin, mas maintindihan nila kung ano ba yung nilalaman or kung ano yung goal na yung sinet natin, kung ano yung main goal talaga natin para mas madali nila maintindihan kung ano ba yung topic na talagang natin yung main goal natin. So, ayun po, proceed naman po tayo sa on the procedure po. Please. So, on the procedure, meron po tayong dalawa dito na on the procedure. Ito po yung direct instruction and exercise and activities. So, yung instruction, giving a lecture to the class, explaining facts, ideas, concepts, and principles. So, sabi naman po na ang direct instruction daw ay natin yung about the topic or ipapaliwanag mo yung mas mabuti yung kahulugan ng melody, kung paano natin ito natutunan, para magkaroon sila ng idea kung ano yung nilalaman ng there are many activities that help students engage in. Natin sa yung exercise ng activities ito na po yung kasama ng mga estudyante para magpa-participate na po yung mga estudyante parang maunawaan na nila yung topic. Ito na yung gagawa sila ng iba't ibang activities na melody. Next po, gaya namang mga reading, analyzing, and evaluating. Yun lamang, maraming salamat. Next na po.
So, good afternoon po. So, the assigned top so I'm Ebalas Chari Angela, and the topic that assigned to me is all about the sample activities for learning content related to melody. So, last time, the reporters or the first reporters already discussed the melody, including pitch, melodic lines, and intervals. Just like kanina po sa unang nag-present bago ako, na-discuss na rin po yung melody. So para again, aware lang tayo, maalala lang ulit natin bago mag-proceed sa mga sample activities na pwede natin gawin. Magsimula tayo sa pitch. Pitch is a term we use to describe how high or low sounds are. So high pitch and low pitch. So yung basic explanation natin na pwedeng i-discuss about high and low pitch is high pitch is the object that vibrates fast. Low pitch is the object that vibrates slowly. So the example of this is the kettle, which is these sounds. And the drums, which is this. So high pitch example is the kettle, low pitch is the drum. So next is so last time sinabi na yung pitch ay parang isang hagdan kung saan meron po itong pababa at meron ding pataas. Ito yung dito ko papasok yung sofa syllables, which is ito yung tone niya dapat. Naririnig ba?
Yes po, naririnig.
Thank you. Yan yung tone ng do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do hanggang pataas, pababa, pataas. Pwede din siyang basahin ng pababa, pataas hanggang pababa. Yung do, hindi ko kaya. Do, yon, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do, pababa. So sa pitch, meron tayong tinatawag na high, higher, low, lower. Yung high is yung so, yung higher is yung la, yung mi is yung low, re is yung lower. So, ang sample song dito is yung Rain, Rain. So, ito yung high pitch and low pitch. So, rain, rain. Wala ko sa tono. Rain, rain, go away. Come again some other day. Little Johnny wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. Ulitin ko po ah. So, rain, rain, go away. Come again some other day. Little Johnny wants to play. Rain, rain, go away. So yun yung high pitch and low pitch. Pero let's change the lyrics into so, which is yung high at mi into low. Nakaka-term tone is yung pero yung tone is yung rain, rain pa rin. So mi, so mi, so mi, mi, so mi, so mi, mi, so mi, so mi, so mi. So ayun lang po, yun po yung example ng high pitch and low pitch na music sounds. So next is yung activity. Yung sample activity natin una dito is kung paano natin i-determine if yung sounds is high pitch or low pitch. So magpapakita po ako ng mga pictures with sounds na mag-identify po if kung yun po ba ay high or low. Yung una po is yung cricket chirping. So ito po yung sound sa cricket chirping. So cricket chirping is a high pitch. High pitch po siya. Next po yung Dog rolling, which is ito po. Yung dog rolling is low pitch. Bird chirping. Bird chirping po is a high pitch. Yung rapido engine, ito po ay isang low pitch po. Yung squeaking mouse po is a high pitch. Yung waterfall, big waterfall po na sounds is ito. Which is low pitch po. Last po is yung whistleblower na high pitch. So, yung mga pinakita ko po example na at mga to is yung ay mga environment or things na high and pitch. So, next po, nagpo-proceed po tayo dun sa muse ang papanood. Papapanood po ko ng video na related na musical instrument siya na papakinggan niyo po yung mga instrument.
Happy Sunshine Friends!
Tuba. Harp. Flute. Castanet. Saxophone. Accordion. Woodblock. Harmonica. Violin. Banjo. Ukulele. Trumpet. Triangle. Microphone. Recorder. French horn. Maracas. Acoustic guitar. Electric guitar. Drum. Tambourine. Cymbals. Clarinet. Piano. Cello.
So, yung video po, yan yung music instrument. So, some of them is high pitch, some of them is low pitch. So, example of instrument that is a high pitch is the violin and flutes and some other instruments. And yung low pitch naman po is yung tuba, yung cello, at yung ibang nakita nyo po sa video. So, yung next activity po is for Miss Kanha po.
Well, afternoon to everyone. So, I am Irish Crystal May Kanha, and now I will continue the report. So, thanks, Miss Ebales. My topic is all about familiarizing with melodic interval. So, but before that, what is interval mean? So, it is the distance between two notes. Next, please. Next ako, be. It is the distance between two notes, various intervals, or distance between notes on the scales. Various intervals can greatly impact the effectiveness of the piece and can seriously alter the mood and balance of the music. So, mas lilinawin pa na ang interval ay nagpapakita ng relasyon ng bawat nota na nakaayos ng sunod-sunod sa awitin. Ang pag-unawa sa mga uri ng interval ay mahalaga upang higit mapahalagan natin yung musika. So, moving forward, now let's look the two types of interval according to order. So, kapag ang ayos ng mga nota ay pahalang na may kasunod-sunod, ang interval ay masasabing melodic interval. Sa ganitong ayos, bawat nota ay inaawit o itinutugtog sa isa't isa. Next, be. So, pag sinabing melodic interval sa ganitong ayos, bawat nota ay naawit o itinutugtog ng isa-isa at sunod-sunod. Samantala naman, ang interval na harmonic ay itinutukoy naman na patayo na relasyon ng mga nota sa isang musika. Ang mga nota sa ganitong interval ay isinasabay na itinutugtog o inaawit. So, ang mga nota o tono sa isang mendi ay mayroong relasyon sa isa't isa na sinusundan nito sa ilalim nito. So, narito ang mga uri ng interval sa C major scale. Next, be. Prime or unison. So, ang tawag dyan sa mga nota na walang pagkakaiba sa agwat. Next, be. Second, ang tawag sa note interval na may agwat o distansya na dalawa mula sa pitch name na, ayan po, C hanggang D. Kapag binilang po natin ito ay may dalawang distansya. Kaya tinatawag itong second. Next, be. Third, ang tawag naman dito sa mga note interval na may agwat na tatlo mula sa pitch name na C hanggang E. So, bilangin natin. C, D, E. So, ito ay may agwat na tatlo. Kaya tinatawag itong third. Next, be. Fourth, ang tawag sa note interval na may agwat na apat mula sa pitch name na C hanggang F. Kapag binilang po natin ito, C, D, E, F, ito ay may agwat na apat kaya tinawag na fourth. Next, be. Fifth, ang tawag sa note interval na may agwat na 5. C, G, kapag binilang po natin mula sa C hanggang G, ito ay may 5 agwat. C, D, E, F, G, 5, kaya tinatawag po nating fifth. Next be. Interval na may agwat na 6, C hanggang pitch na A, kapag bilangin po natin, C, D, E, F, G, A, ito ay may agwat na 6, kaya tinatawag po natin na 6. Next po. Seventh, ang tawag sa note interval na may agwat na 7. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, ito ay may agwat na 7. Kaya seventh ang tawag dito. Last be. Eighth or octave ang tawag sa note interval na may agwat na 8. Sa pitch name na C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, kapag binilang po natin ito ay may agwat na 8, kaya tinawag na 8 o octave. Next bit. So how do I teach pitch and interval? So this is a valid relevant questions for us here in the Philippines. Since currently many schools do not have an upright piano or digital piano or keyboard available for teaching music, a guitar may also be used, but a piano is preferable as a tool for instructions since it is easier to see and teach pitch and interval through a piano keyboard instead of guitar. A good alternative is to download and use smartphone piano apps for teaching music. Firstly, it is imperative that the teacher gains a familiarity of the keyboard geography of a piano. He or she has to listen well to pitch produced by each piano key as he or she inputs in the smartphone and teach this to the student accordingly whether it is a do, faming or sol. Intervals the teacher may connect his or her smartphone to an amplifier or speaker so that the whole class may hear the lesson. Lastly, a visual aid such as a drawing of the piano keyboard shown on the blackboard or at the front of the class can greatly help since the teacher can point of the pitch or intervals simultaneously as they are being played through the smartphone app. So, by teaching pitch and interval, you can learn to play by ear, sing in tune, become more musically confident, and more. So, why is it important to teach intervals in music and how can we do it? So, some ideas of on teaching music intervals with games, exercise to engage our student, both children and adults. Intervals are the building blocks of music. We create music either by harmonizing two or more notes, chords, or by connecting a series of pitch, one after another melody. In both cases, using intervals, building recognitions of intervals orally by ear and on the page by sight helps to improve many aspects of our musically learning, including sight reading, sight singing, harmonizing, and more. Next bit. So there are other interval exercise. How about linking it to music you're in the midst of presently? It is important the student see that what they are learning is connected to their musically experience. Challenge your students to determine what the distance is between each note. You could ask them to figure out the get each note in the melody line. Or start with Ferrer Jacques I. If you want an easy tune that begins on the tonic open first string. The benefits of music education are highly beneficial to students. Music positively impacts a child's academic performance, assists in developing social skills, and provides an outlet for creativity that is crucial to a child development. And that's all my topic. I will call Miss Jose to continue the report.
Okay
Thank
po.
you.
Present ko lang po yan. So, okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Geraldine Jose, and my topic is consideration for materials use. So, some indispensable materials are to be used quite extensively when teaching melody. These are the following. Number one is audio recordings or videos. Audio or video recording means any recording created by equipment that is owned or operated by the law enforcement agency, including but not limited to a body-worn camera, a dashboard camera, an in-vehicle video recording system, or a closed-circuit television camera. So, ito ay may the best example nito ay yung mga vlogs. May papanood akong video kung paano mag-record ng mga audios or videos.
Hello po, excuse me. Wala po ba talagang sounds? Wala po.
Ay, wala po bang source?
Opo, kanina pa po.
Sige po, wait. Wala po kasi.
Kasi sa akin lang.
May sounds na po.
Sige po, play nyo po.
Wala, Bill.
Wala po eh.
Wait lang.
In this introductory video, hey guys, AB here from B&H, and we decided to create a multi-part series that walks you through everything you need to know to get started recording audio for video. Whether you're on a film set with a dedicated sound mixer, or you're a videographer recording your own audio on the go, this series of videos should help you solve some of the problems you may encounter along the way. In this introductory video, I'm simply going over the basics, briefly covering everything from prepping your environment to laying out cables, which mics to use for specific scenarios, setting recording levels, and even adjusting those levels in post to get the most out of your recordings. Because some of the concepts in this video can be pretty involved, we will cover those in more detail in other dedicated videos in the series. That reminds me, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you'll know when the next video in the series drops. When recording audio for video, one of the most important factors to consider, even before you hit record, is your environment. Naturally, if you're shooting outside, you can't always control the noises around you, which we'll address later. But when you're indoors, there are a few precautions you can take. 1. Make sure to turn off or unplug appliances like ACs or refrigerators to eliminate buzzing in the room. 2. Turn off all mobile phones to prevent ruining a take with ringing or interference. 3. Check the light fixtures. Certain types of bulbs, fluorescent, open windows, noise from outside can creep into a room unnoticed, and if you only hear it when you listen back after the shoot, it's definitely too late. Now that you have your environment the way you want it, it's time to address how you're going to record audio. Choosing which microphone will work best for you will greatly depend on what you're shooting. For example, if you're recording a sit-down interview, using an omnidirectional lavalier mic on your subject would provide the right type of pickup to ensure that you capture consistent sound. You could also use a cardioid lav mic, since it rejects off-axis sound. Alternatively, you could set up a shotgun mic on a boom pole, pointed at your subject and get a nice clean sound. You could even use both lavs and shotguns and mix the two together in post, which would give you a little flexibility in terms of sound choice, not to mention a backup in the event there was a malfunction in one of the microphones. For narrative endeavors, an omnidirectional lav works great for mounting in numerous locations on someone, but a shotgun mic may be better to help pick up a little more ambience of your location. In other situations, an on-camera mini shotgun microphone may work best if you're in a run-and-gun situation where you have to be ready to record audio wherever you point the camera. I'm going to go more in depth into different types of microphones later in this series. So now that you've chosen your preferred microphone for your shoot, how do you decide whether or not you should go wireless or wired? Both types of systems offer advantages and disadvantages, so it's important to weigh your options before making a decision. Wired microphones are best suited for static situations, such as our sit-down interview here. When you go wired, you don't have to worry about interference or dropouts from other transmission sources, and having a direct cable connection ensures the highest possible quality. However, keep in mind that your subject's mic is now connected to your recorder, so that will put limitations on where and how far away the subject can be sitting from the recorder. One other thing to keep in mind is that when using wired microphones, you want to make sure that they aren't in contact with any kind of power cable, as that could introduce unwanted noise into your line. If you're on the go, a wireless setup is the obvious choice. Depending on your location, you run the risk of picking up interference from other transmission sources, so make sure you're aware of your surroundings before going wireless. Also, if you're on a budget, wireless mics, especially good ones, tend to be more expensive than wired versions, so keep that in mind as well. Whichever mic you choose, make sure you have it positioned as close to the source as possible. You've chosen the mic and you're ready to plug it in. But what do you plug it into? You have to make sure you choose the right tool for the job, and the ideal choice is an external recorder to capture your audio. In terms of inputs, the dedicated recorder will usually have much cleaner and quieter preamps than those you would find on most cameras. But keep in mind that in this scenario, your audio will be separate from your video, so you'll need to sync the two in post. Also, many recorders have tone generation, which creates a tone that allows you to align audio later. If you don't have a model with this function, you can simply clap your hands once and use that cue to align the camera and recorder audio. Also, it's easier to adjust the gain on a recorder compared to the camera. You tend to have more options for tools like limiters and compressors on external recorders. There are models of recorders that simply mount directly under a camera and are operated by the shooter, but most dedicated recorders require their own setup and in some cases, a separate operator. Alternatively, you can record audio directly into your camera depending on the connections your camera supports, including XLR inputs, 3.5mm, also known as 1/8" mini jack inputs, or a third-party device or adapter that can accommodate a variety of input options. If you choose to record audio directly to the camera, it gives you the convenience of monitoring sound while you monitor video. However, you run the risk of recording audio with more noise in it due to the lower quality of the camera preamps. Again, depending on the camera you're using. Higher-end cameras, such as cinema cameras or ENG cameras, will have cleaner inputs than your typical DSLR or mirrorless camera. Once you're all set up and your mic is plugged in, you have to set your record levels. We take a deeper dive into this topic in a later video, but right now let's cover the basics. When looking at your recorder or camera,
So, ayun guys, based dun sa video, makikita natin yung struggles ng pag-records ng mga audio. So, alam natin kung gaano kahirap, lalo na-encounter na natin ngayon since lagi na tayong merong teaching demo. And alam natin kung ano yung struggles ng mga sounds na sumasama sa mga video na ginagawa natin. Okay, so next one is the visual aids, posters, stickers, illustrations. So visual aids include objects, images, diagrams, data graphs, charts such as pie charts, and moving images such as videos. Common technologies used to share visual aids include projectors, presentation, applications, and whiteboards. So dahil dito sa mga visual aids or sa mga illustrations, mas napapadali at mas nagiging klaro sa atin kung paano natin maiintindihan yung music since hindi naman lahat tayo ay marunong bumasa ng nota. So, the best neto is, kung naaalala nyo nung elementary, laging required or laging pinapadala ng mga teacher is music notebook. So, sa elementary pa lang, ini-encourage na ng mga teachers or pinapakilala na sa mga bata kung ano ang music at kung ano yung mga parts or yung mga symbols neto. So, siguro sa mga iba na nagpi-play ng mga ibang instruments na katulad ng piano na marunong bumasa ng nota, isang malaking advantage yun kasi hindi lahat tayo marunong bumasa ng mga notes na akala natin ganun lang kadali. Like yung do, re, mi, hindi lang siya basta do, re, mi lang na binabasa. Meron siyang kaakibat na nota na merong rhythm na connected. So, kasali dito sa visual aids is yung mga music notes. Next is musical instruments. So, both standard and improvised, commonly what found inside the classroom. So, hindi na ako magpi-play ng video since kanina sa report ni Miss Chari, nakapag-play na siya ng video ng mga instruments and alam ko naman na napakinggan nyo na ang bawat instrument doon may binigay na music. Kaya hindi na ako magpi-play ng video. So, merong mga schools na meron talaga silang music classroom para sa mga bata. Most commonly sa mga private schools, meron talaga silang naka-improvise na room para sa music class lang, which is more on focus sila sa pagtuturo ng music sa mga bata at doon sila mas nag-encourage sa mga students na magkaroon ng interest sa music. Since alam naman natin na mahirap talagang matutong magbasa ng nota based on experience din. Next one is consideration for evaluation. Ideally, evaluations may be done through observation and or actual music performance of the students. Rather than giving them written quizzes or exams, through these may also be used sometimes. For melody, the foremost considerations when evaluating elementary students are the following. Number 1, students can recognize whether a melody goes up or down and can compare which pitches are higher or lower in relation to other pitches. Number 2, students can imitate a pitch or a series of pitches correctly by either singing or humming it. Number 3, students can partially transpose familiar songs into C, F, or G major, does not have to be a complete song. Number 4, students can tell whether a piece or song is in a major or minor key. So, sinasabi din dito na na-evaluate ng mga teachers yung mga students nila not by just written quizzes na hindi katulad ng ibang subjects na merong mga quizzes or activities. So, dito sa music, merong performance task kung saan doon nag-grade yung mga teachers at doon nila nakikita kung talaga bang may natututunan yung mga bata sa music na may pinapagawa silang isang activity which is connected sa music. Other considerations, it is also beneficial to incorporate a closure section in our music lesson plans. This is usually done at the tail end of a lesson, where the teacher gives praise, encouragement, and affirmation to students. This is to put value in the students' efforts when participating in the music activities in class. So, dito na papasok yung mga judgments ng mga teachers kung tama ba or maganda ba yung nagawa or ang naging output ng isang students. So, melodies can be radically different from one another. However, all melodies have basic set of elements. So we have pitch, duration, texture, timbre, and loudness. So doon minsan nagbe-base yung mga teachers para mag-grade nila yung isang student sa isang output na ginawa or sa isang performance na ginawa ng isang students about music. So hindi lang to katulad ng mga ibang subjects na nagkakaroon lang tayo ng mga quizzes, summative test, or formative test. So dito sa music talagang kailangan nating ma-enhance yung vocal natin or kailangan talagang may gawin tayo, hindi lang brains yung gagana sa atin, kundi pati yung mga physical natin. So trivia, are you guys all familiar with this sign? Yung letter B. So, etong letter B na to, since nagbabanda po kasi ako, so medyo meron po akong knowledge sa pagbabasa ng nota. Ito pong letter B na to na sign is what you call bemol. Ito po yung sign na kapag magbabawas ng kalahating nota or kalahating kumpas sa bawat nota. So, yun lang po. Doon po nagtatapos yung discussion ng report namin.
Any questions po? Questions? Dagdag ko lang dun sa trivia kanina. Yung bemol, actually, pwede din siyang tawaging flat. Mas madali siyang kumbaga ma-recognize kapag tinawag natin siyang flat.
Yes po, ma'am. Actually po kasi bemol po is mas kilala po siya sa bemol sa mga musikero po, sa mga nagbabanda. Pero kung sa teaching po yung pag-uusapan, mas okay po na flat yung itawag sa kanya para mas ma-recognize po ng students.
Exactly. Coming from a music family din kasi kami. So, kumbaga mas yung flat. Lalo na kung yung mga kausap natin ay hindi naman talaga musically inclined. Anyway, any questions? Medyo loaded ba sa info? Malinaw naman po ba?
Opo.
Okay. Okay, so sa GCR, na-post ko na yung assignment ng first group kung saan kayo magsasagot. Later, post ko na rin yung dito sa hindi pala group, sorry, sa first reporter. And then, maya-maya lang, after nung last na class ko, post ko na rin yung sa inyo. Okay, so given all those informations, dapat alam natin lagi na kung ano man yung mga musical terms na gagawin, ipepresent natin sa bata, kailangan alam natin kung paano natin siya bababawan. Especially kapag sa grade 1 kayo na-assign. Ngayon kasi first time kong magturo ng grade 1. So, nakita ko doon, pagdating sa music, medyo hirap silang i-grasp kaagad. Pero kung i-compare nyo yung grade 1 sa grade 6, mas mabilis makuha ng grade 1. Especially yung mga musical terms na i-discuss natin. Pero ganun pa din, kailangan bilang mga teachers, alam natin kung paano natin bababawan yung mga terms na ipapakita natin sa kanila. So, melody, kailangan natin siyang namnamin. Kailangan natin, I hope na nakinig tayong lahat dun sa report, and please don't forget paki-post nung PowerPoint sa sa GCR.
Yes.
Kasi okay. Wala na tayong tanong. Karagdagan kung walang tanong. Baka meron kayong dagdag. Idagdag sa By the way, hindi ko po napansin, sorry. Na-post ba yung harness tsaka challenge?
Yes po.
Po.
Na-screenshot naman ang lahat?
Yes po.
Okay, thank you. Wala na tayong questions? I won't be keeping you too much. Thank you sa ating second reporter. Yung third reporter natin, get ready on Tuesday ha. And get ready lang yung next na reporter in case na matapos ka agad yung reporter before you. So, again, thank you. Have a good afternoon and bye-bye.